Welcome to our study in quadratic functions. Today we look at sketching a quadratic graph. So a quadratic equation has a form y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So if you want to determine the shape of the graph, we look at the coefficient of x squared. If a is positive, you know the graph is a minimum graph where it opens going upwards. So this is a mistake. The graph has to open upwards. If a is negative or if a is less than 0, then the graph opens downwards, giving us a maximum point. So this is minimum. Sorry about that swap. And this is the maximum. So if your graph goes upwards, it means your a is greater than 0 or your a is positive. Your graph is a minimum graph. If your a is less than 1, your graph points downwards. It means your a is less than 0. So negative values, maximum graph. Positive values, minimum graph. Then we find the turning points. So check my previous video on turning points. If in case you have forgotten, express your quadratic function first of all in this form, then pick out your turning point, negative p, comma q. Get the p, negative, you add the negative, then comma the q. Then the second last stage, find the y-intercept. You want to find where the graph is cutting the y-axis. So in the y-axis, the value of x is 0. Substitute 0 in the original equation given to you. Find the corresponding y. Or it's just 0 because the y-intercept, your x has already been found as 0. You're just finding the y. Then 6, substitute to get the x-intercepts, again where the graph is cutting the x-axis, you substitute y is equal to 0 because in the x-axis the value of y is 0. So you get your x values, comma 0. The y-intercept is 0, comma the y value you're going to find after substituting. Let's have an example to see what I'm talking about. So sketch the graph of y is equal to 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. So our a in this case is 3, and 3 is greater than 0. Needless to say, it's positive. Therefore, your graph opens upwards, giving us a minimum graph. And let's find our turning point. We want to express this one in terms of ax plus p squared plus q. So you'll find that it's going to simplify to a, which is 3x plus, it should be minus minus 2 over 3 squared plus minus, don't know why I'm liking plus today, minus 1 over 3. This will simplify to that one. So I can try and check through your work and see that it gets you to this simplification. This means that our turning point is 2 over 3 because it's negative p. P is already negative, it becomes positive, comma q, and our q is negative 1 over 3. So this is our turning point. So now let's find our y-intercept. So y-intercept simply means it's x comma something, because x is 0, 0 comma whatever we have. Substituting 0 in our original equation, which is this one, you'll find that y is actually 1. Therefore, our y-intercept is 0, 1. let's find our x-intercepts. So x-intercepts, y is the one which is equal to 0. By equating our equation to 0, we're going to have 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation, and you can use your product and sum or the formula, the quadratic formula. It will simplify to you having 3x minus 1 multiply x minus 1 equal to 0, and this will give you the values of x, being x is equal to 1 over 3 or x is 1. So at this point, since it's in the x-axis, we know at this point y is 0 and at that point y is 0. So the coordinates here are 1 over 3, 0 and 1, 0. So now we have our turning point, we have our shape, we have the x and the y-intercepts. Let's now try to sketch our graph. So always ensure that your pencil is sharpened, you have your ruler, and you draw your graph as neatly as possible. Avoid shading. So let's sketch. Our turning point is 2 over 3, negative 1 over 3. So 2 over 3 somewhere here, it's positive, and the negative 1 over 3 should be somewhere here. It's just a sketch by estimating a lot. So I have 2 over 3, negative 1 over 3, our turning point. Then it's cutting the x-axis at 1 over 3, 0. So let's assume here we have 1 over 3, 0. Then it's also cutting at 1, 0. So let's have 1, 0 somewhere there, and it's cutting the y-axis at y-intercept at 0, 1, 0, 1. Let's have maybe 0, 1 there. So all what's left is for you to connect the points as smoothly as you can without shading. So goes there, comes there. That's our turning point, so it means your graph will turn, then goes up. So this is the graph. So I have a task for you here as well. So you try and sketch this quadratic function and the quadratic graph. So what you have is y is equal to 5 minus x squared. So to begin with, let's rearrange them so that you can pick out your a correctly. So you have y is equal to, so whenever you are arranging, what you have before the x squared is a negative sign. Please don't leave it out. You get the terms as they exist in your original equation, meaning you carry them together with a sign just before it. So the equation will have minus x squared minus x plus 5. So pick out your a, look at the value of a, tells you the shape of the graph, then find your y-intercept as well as also solve your x-intercept. Then let's have you also sketch this quadratic function. Thank you.